Okay. All right, you guys, I'm very, very excited for this. So when I am in eSuite and when I'm in our team page, two names keep popping up over and over again with enrollments and welcoming announcements. And like Kelsey and Stephanie have really just kind of stepped up their bar within the last couple months. So I'm going to have them tell you their story. We're going to go over their timeline a little bit, and they're just like top tips and like how many people they've enrolled in January, February, and currently in March, because what's going to happen is promotions are starting to happen this month. I know Stephanie's going to be Ruby and at bare minimum, and Kelsey is already Ruby, like double promoted this month. And like it's work that has happened, because when our customers come in, you guys, they are here for at least 3 months, like minimum. So work that they did in January is running still for March. So like what they did in January, what they did in February, and what they are doing right now has really just tied together and put them in this place. They didn't just wake up one day and just boom, they sneezed and became Ruby. That's not how, you promote, become successful in this business. You need to, continuously work. When I joined, I went Ruby in my first 3 months, and then I missed Emerald by a little bit of volume my 4th month. Then I went Diamond my 5th month. And, I tell people it was work I started in October, November, December, January, February, all of that lined up. And when they announced a double good bonus at conference for $20,000, I was one person charted from Diamond. And like I said, I missed Emerald volume by a little bit the previous month. So I went Emerald on the 26th and then Diamond on the 28th, or I think it was the 29th. It was a leap year that year when I promoted. But I didn't just all of a sudden get this bonus and like promote, and everything happened because I was just pumped that first month. It was everything leading up prior to it. Nothing in this business really matters except for, we get paid for enrollments. And that is what they are doing right now. So does anybody, either one of you need to get off soon? Prefer to go first? No? Okay, I have Kelsey's name written first. I'm going to start with you because you enrolled in August of last year.
Yes.
Okay. So tell me what your timeline was like, because I know you had a little bit of time of like struggling to really just get your grounding in this business. And then we went to conference, and I know like things had kind of picked up for you in January prior to conference, but like I want you to talk about your timeline from August through December, and then we're going to go into the last 3 months.
So when I first got started, it was like mid to end of the month of August, and I felt the fire when I first joined. I was just excited, and Allie just kept saying to me, "Ignorance on fire." So I ran with that, and I got my shopping spree, and I started off really, really well. And then I think I just struggled to find the vision for myself. I got so used to borrowing the vision from other people that I never took the time to actually find my own vision for myself. So it was kind of like a back and forth. Like I was getting customers here and there. Like I would get a distributor here, and then 2 months would go by and I'd get another distributor. And I think I just fell into the habit of accepting that until I went to conference. And then when I went to conference and I got to see firsthand, like I got to first of all, I got to meet everybody in person. And I think there's just something so magical about meeting people and seeing them in real life. Like these are real human beings that I'm seeing, not just through like a computer screen or through social media scroll. And conference was just so amazing. So it made me find my fire. It just came, and it literally just changed the whole game for me. So I really want to express how important it is to get yourself to conference. You literally have until January of 21 to get a ticket. So put $5 aside now and you'll be good to go.
Yeah, 100%.
So, do you want me to keep going from conference?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so after conference, so actually right before conference, for January enrollments, I literally had 2. That's it. And I was like, I think I was waiting for conference to change the game for me, and I don't do that. Never wait for anything. You should just do it because you're already going to be set up for when your fire comes. And then I went to conference, I got home, and I was like, okay, I'm getting things done. And it was February. So in February, I had 7 loyal customers and 7 distributors. So for me, that was a first for me. I had never seen myself do something like that before. And I was like, wow, like I now know firsthand, I don't just think I can do it. I know I can do it. I've done it. So we're rolling into March, and we're like, it's what, the 18th right now? So it's the 18th of March, and I've had 12 loyal customers and 3 distributors so far. So in total, January, February, and March, I've had a total of 31 enrollments, which is just amazing. And I want to point out that even though, because customers are 3 months, they're 3-month increments. So like Caitlin was talking, like you start and it's going to affect you 3 months from now. Like that is huge. That's a huge thing. In January, I only had 2. So it's never too late. It's literally never too late. So don't sit there and be like, I only had 2 customers. Next month, I'll just get 2 customers because that's what I do. No, like I went from 2 customers to, 14 next month? 2 customers to 14 the next month. And then March, I had 15. So I didn't give up after January because I had low enrollments. I just kept going. And now 3 months from now, I'm still going to have all of those. So it adds up, which is just so important.
I'm going to write something down real quick. I'm going to compare your volume. I'm not going to give numbers, but I do want to talk about that real quick. So it raised about 150 from January to February. And then your March, so I'm awful with math. Hold on a second. I'm not awful with math. I just awful with my head.
Me too, it's fine.
1,500. So you went from 150. What do you need? Delivery. Oh, okay.
Delivery. I love that. Real life.
Okay, well, I wasn't expecting that, but okay. Anyway, so you went from 150 from January to February raise in group volume to 1,500 the next month. You guys, that is insane. Insane. And that's not just her. She didn't enroll 1,500 in volume by herself. It was the DTs that she had started and brought them in. And it's like killing 2 birds with 1 stone when you bring a new distributor in. You know, you can enroll LCs all you want, but like you can only get so much going. But once you bring in that new distributor, you know, they can start doing the same things that you're doing and bringing in their own people. And that's how you multiply the volume like that. So I think that's incredibly powerful to like look at these numbers and, you know, see like, okay, you know, I'm stuck. I don't know how I'm going to get like 2,000 in volume. That's how far away I am from, you know, promoting. And you guys, anything can happen. You can get 2,000 in a couple days. Like if you do it with your team, and you guys, that number I gave you, that's March's number, that 1,500 in raise. March isn't done yet. That's just the current number is that much higher for March. So I think that's really incredible. And then I want you to talk about like a little bit about like your daily routine and schedule right now to let kind of people know like what you're dealing with.
Okay, so do you want me to talk regular daily routine or like coronavirus daily routine?
No, regular daily routine.
Okay, 2 totally different things. Okay, so regular daily routine. I don't have to be at my full-time job. So I work a full-time job, 40 hours a week, okay? And I don't let that be an excuse anymore. I did it one time. It's not acceptable. I wake up extra early, so I don't have to be there until 12. It's about an hour drive, so I leave the house at 10:30. I wake up at 7:30. I wake up at 7:30 in the morning, and first thing I get up, first thing I do is I post an inspirational post in my stories. First thing. The first thing I see in the morning, which I think is just powerful for myself, And it just gets the stories rolling. And then I go downstairs and I post my celery. I make celery every single morning and I post about it. I talk about it. Sometimes if it's just a boomerang, it's just a boomerang, but there's always something about celery. Same thing with the coffee. I post about my coffee every single day. It's just so important to be consistent with posting the products that you're using. And if you don't have any products right now, if you're new, you have the products that you got in your sample kit. So you should be using those like right away and start showing people. You have the 3 credits that you can sell. My advice is to start using the physical ones that you get in. Other than that, we get 40% off of products. So,
And you're shopping free.
and exactly, yes. And push for the shopping spree, because if you get 6 customers in your first month, you're going to get $150 shopping spree. That's literally $150 worth of anything that you're interested in, which is huge. So use the products. And then when I start to get ready, like get dressed and start putting my face on for the day, I listen to personal development. So personal development is huge for me. It's just huge in general. And I don't mean business training. I don't mean business development. I mean personal individualized growth. So that's like reading a book or listening to an audible or finding a good podcast that grows your mind and pushes you to think outside of your limits and think about your limiting beliefs and how you're going to face those and everything like that. Then I sit down and I get to work, and I made a little desk area for myself. I don't have a lot of space in my house, but I utilize the small space that I do have. And I made it my own little home there. So I sit there, I open up the window, it's inviting, and I do parrot time. And for anybody that doesn't know what parrot time is, it's time for your business. It's uninterrupted time. It's like clocking in and out almost. So you clock in and you count your time for the day. And this is intentional time. This is not
like conversational time.
Exactly. This is like messages. This is messaging people. This isn't posting on your stories. This isn't scrolling through your feed and interacting. This is literally getting into your inbox and messaging people about products or the business. For me personally, I've been focusing on host to post a lot. It's like my magic. It's just magical. I sit down and I get as many host to post up as I can in the time that I have. And then I start messaging people right away who are interested. I start following up with people. You don't have to wait for Friday to follow up with people. I follow up with people that I talked to last night. I follow up with people that I talked to several days ago. I follow up with people who might be signing the next day or in 2 days from now to just be like, hey, like, so excited for you, re-hype them up if it's been a while since you've chatted and you have a date for them. And I do this literally until I can't do this anymore and I have to leave for work. And then on my hour drive to work, I am doing YouTube or recorded Zoom trainings. That is what I listen to on my drive. I'm utilizing that time. Occasionally I'll put on some radio jams, but most of the time I am listening to trainings. Then I get to work and I'm at my full time, and that time is set aside for my full time, and that's all fine and dandy. I will admit that I sneak away to the back room in the bathroom quite often to check my messages. It's also, when you're peeing, it's a good opportunity to add people so you can grow your market. You literally can just, on your feed, you see a girl, like this girl, whatever, you click into her likes and you can just add all the girls that like that picture. That's fine. There you go. Boom. You just got a bunch done. Just on a pee break. It takes 2 seconds to do. I get home from work. I usually don't get home from work until like 9 o'clock, 9:30 at night. Kind of a downer. Yeah, tell me about it. So I get home, and luckily I have an amazing man who cooks for me. So I usually can just eat dinner right away. Eat dinner, shower, and then again, I'm sitting at my desk and I'm banging out more parrot time. And this parrot time, since I did a bunch of stuff in the morning, might be more so responding to the people throughout the day that I didn't get a chance to respond to. And then I'm adding more people to that list. And before I go to bed, what am I doing? I am writing every single person down that I talked to all day that day. It is that was the hugest mistake that I made when I first got started. I didn't write anybody down. And by the time I realized it, I was months into my business, and I was like scrambling, trying to scroll back and write all the names down from the past 3-4 months. It was terrifying.
Yeah, I mean, and we get to this point where we're like, oh, I'm gonna remember so and so. I'll write them down like tomorrow night, and like you'll forget. They get lost in the messages, especially if you're having as many conversations as you're having. People will slip. So you're basically just staying disciplined, and you're using your time wisely. Now the number of messages doesn't matter. We focused more on making sure you are having that parent time. But like, what do you say you're getting out?
Okay. So I'm trying to get
new messages.
Okay. Wow. I honestly don't know. Sometimes I'm going to say it's well over 100 if I'm going to be completely honest.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not because I'm counting them. That's just because I'm messaging like a crazy person. And I try to get up at least 10 host to post a day. So I'm not stopping messaging for host to post until I get 10 up a day.
Yeah.
And I've been focusing mainly on Facebook for that because it's like a minefield of people who are interested. And then for every single person that's interested in that, I'm messaging them. Every person that likes it, I'm messaging them. So like it just piles up naturally from host to post. And I end up having so many conversations in one day.
Yeah. Now, are you just sending new messages for host to post? Are you kind of changing it up a little bit? Are you having issues with getting blocked for sending too many of the same message? Like, what are you doing with that?
So I haven't gotten blocked on Facebook. I've gotten blocked on Instagram plenty of times.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. On Facebook, I haven't gotten blocked for that yet. I've gotten blocked for adding too many people. I will say that. But for sending messages, no, because I've been interacting with people's stories a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's just literally hard eye. I mean, it's something. It gets the interactions kind of boosted and the engagements boosted so that you don't get blocked. They know that you're a real person. So you're not registering as like a robot, as a red flag in the Facebook system algorithm, I guess you'd say.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to say that I've mostly just been focusing on host to post because it's just been working so well for me. And if it's working so well, don't change it, So I've been focusing on host to posts. And then just following up from like old conversations. And that's really where most of my messages are coming from because I have distributors coming in and customers coming in and all those conversations are already happening. So it's just working.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Because like you said, don't change what's working for you. And there's some people who host to post hasn't ever really taken off for them, but you probably haven't gotten enough of those out. Because like when I started, and this is just when I started, I remember watching a video, somebody was like, I've been using the same cold message since 2016 and it still works today. Like I didn't feel the need to change it. And back then, all I did was like cold message for products. I'd never cold message for distributors. And another thing too, you guys, like you don't become a mass enroller just like being born into it. Like sometimes we don't think we can be that person because we haven't been that person yet. But like once you just start putting the work in, like she said, like it can happen. I don't even think I can do it now. Like I know I can do it. You can be a mass enroller. It doesn't take anybody special. She's utilizing her time. She's taking the time. She worked like being gone that long, like sucks, and kudos to you for like staying up after you get home from a long day at work and still getting those things in and just getting your things done. And you guys, it is showing, the enrollments are showing she's double promoted, right? It was executive this month too, right?
Yeah.
Okay, double promoted. Like who knows what's happening the rest of the month. We still have like a good chunk of time to go. And she's not stopping. I don't suggest ever stopping. Because you're just going to go right up. And maybe, it's taken me 4.5 years to go triple, but that doesn't mean it has to take her the same amount of time. If she's going to do it in 9 months, she can do it in 9 months. Like keep doing what you're doing. It's working. It's amazing. Now, when you are doing host to post, because you are enrolling like both, do you switch up like doing a low customer one versus a distributor one?
Yeah, so I actually, if somebody agrees to throw the host to post up for me, the first thing I do is I look at their page and I kind of just generalize from there. Will I get good traction for customers or will I get good traction? If they're younger, I usually go with the distributor. If they're a little bit older, I go with the product host to post.
Yeah.
It just,
I agree with that. That's how my brain works with it too. Have you ever messaged somebody who's done a host to post for you like 1 month, and then you message them again when we have like the next giveaway, and you're like, hey, because you did it last month, like you didn't win, but just so you know, like we're doing another one, would you throw another one up? Do you do that? And will you switch it then? If you gave them a product one to begin with, will you do the distributor one next?
Yes, definitely. I mean, so I actually have a few people who have done a host to post for me every single time. Like they've literally done 6 host to posts for me now, and I just think it's comical at this point. I'm like, hey girl, next time you ready? Like you win, you already know.
Yeah. So
Um,
do you keep a separate list of those host to post people then? You keep that and then like your potentials in a different list?
Yeah, so I keep a list for host to post for each month actually. So I can go back when it's next month. I can say, okay, who did a host to post for me in March? I already know, bing, bang, boom. These people are the people I'm going to reach out to right away because I know that they're more likely to do it for me because they already did it for me again. And then I actually printed out my entire Facebook friends list. So that's something that you can do. It's actually quite easy. You can just YouTube on how to do it. And I just go page by page and I highlight every single person after I message them. I highlight them. And then I put like a little check mark if they do it for me.
Yeah, good. Now, how many people from a host to post that have put one up for you, like percentage wise, roughly, how many have been interested in it themselves?
Probably like 25%. Probably like 25%, which is pretty fair. I think that's pretty great. Um, Usually they ask some sort of a question after, even if they're just like, hey, what's this about before I post it on my page? It's just information that I now get to give somebody, and you never know where that's going to go.
Yeah, I love it. And I think it's easier too. I was very resistant to the host to post because I was doing fine without it. Like that's not how I got to diamond. That wasn't even a thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I am resistant to change a little bit, but it's easier to lead with the host to post, like, hey, would you mind doing this for me? Because you're entered to win a giveaway. Like they're going to get something out of it, you know?
Yep.
And then you're like, you know, thank you so much. By the way, you know, would you be interested in more info? And just asking them anyways, you've already had this conversation. Like they're going to respond to you and not like just ignore you and leave you on red or be upset that you message them. So it kind of just, it makes it easier, I think, to ask people or talk to people. And then, like you said, how many um, uh, of your loyal customers or distributors have come from a host to post versus like your polls and stories or like any like post and stuff?
If I'm going to be completely honest, they have all come from host to post. They have all come from host to post. If I'm going to say any of them came from a poll, it's probably 1 or 2.
Yeah.
That's not saying don't do polls because they work. I've gotten plenty of customers through polls and everything like that. But host to post it's just been the magic minefield for me, and I've gotten all the distributors that I have enrolled have come from a distributor host to post, all three months. There are a few friends that I've had that have ordered, but that's again like 1 or 2 people. Other than that, it's just been the host to post.
Now, have you asked anybody who's been like, hey, by the way, I have seen what you've been posting about. Can you give me more info? Like they're willing to do the host post, but because they've seen your salary every morning or they've seen
Yes.
Skinny Brew, like have they just been like, hey, by the way, since we're having a conversation?
Yep. I've also had a lot of people reach out who I had spoken to in the past who ultimately decided they weren't interested on whatever it was that we were talking about at the time, reach out about something else that they've seen me post about. So maybe we're talking about the Thermo X, but they see me post about the celery all the time and they're like, wow, like what is this? Like I see you posting this all the time. Like, can you just give me some information? You
Yeah.
know, so that's why it's so important to just post all the time because people are watching you, even if like or they are or not, like they're watching you. People are nosy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
People are asking what is the script that you're using to reach out to people who've already done the host to post before, like roughly, like what is it that you say to them?
So I basically just say, hey girl, I know you've done a host to post. Oh, do not use the word host to post. I know you've entered my giveaway in the past. I was wondering if you would like to enter it this time. I'm so excited. We're doing $150 to Target. I love Target or something like that. Like, are you in? That's pretty much it. It's pretty low key. It's pretty generalized. Just hype up whatever giveaway is going on, which right now is $150 to Target, and then just throw in some cute emojis and you're honestly good to go.
Yeah. Now, do you use text replacement?
Oh yeah, it's a time saver.
That
Huge time
probably helps.
saver. Yes.
Yeah, you guys, like I have for host to post the initial message, the response message. I have one for Facebook, one for Instagram, and then a third, and then a fourth. And it's whether I did a DT host to post or an LC host to post. I'm like, hey, by the way, would you want more info on making money? If they did a DT one, vice versa. So those are all set up. Obviously, like I will pre-read everything unless they've asked like a specific question. But you guys, that really helps you get those initial conversations out and going. Side note, how many times have you had to follow up with people for them to sign, like recently with what's been going on?
I'm gonna say like 5 times. Probably like 5 times. There are very rarely does somebody order right on the spot. For me anyway. I'm not sure if that's for everybody, but for me, very rarely they don't sign up on the spot. Always try to get a date from them. Always, always, always try to get a date from them. But typically it takes, I think on average, 7 to 8 times of following up with someone before they actually make a purchase. So the follow-up is so important.
Yeah. So what is the time span then? Because I know you say you follow up a lot. So that's not saying she's following up 5 times in a 5-month time span. That's not what's happening. She said, you know, the next day to keep the conversation fresh if it fell off the night before or a couple days later. So like, what's the average like time frame for you?
So I actually was watching a training the other day and I forget who it was, but she said to bring back same day follow-ups. So I started doing that. So if I talk to somebody in the morning, I'm not going to wait until tomorrow night to follow up with them. I'm going to text them or I'll respond to them again that night and just kind of be like, hey girl, did I catch you at a bad time earlier? It's just so easy. And if they don't respond, then the next day, I'll just say, hey, I still have one spot left for whatever it is that we're talking about. Like I'm putting orders in right now. Are you still interested? You know, depending on what we're talking about. This is for customers, obviously. And usually they'll respond to that. And you just kind of keep going from there and you can switch it up every time. So I'll do that. If they don't respond, I'll wait until like Friday. So the end of the week. So you don't want to be super spammy and super annoying, you know, you kind of want to plan it out in a way that makes sense and it feels thoughtful. Rather than just like, hey, give me your money, you know? So I'll do same day, unless it's like that night, and then I'll wait till the next morning. After that, I'll wait a few days or I'll wait until Friday, depending on, you know, where the time span is for there. And then if they don't respond to me on Friday, I'll reach out to them in a week. If they don't respond to me on that Friday, I'll reach out to them in a week. So within a month, I'm reaching out to this person again several times.
Yeah.
And nobody blocks me, so don't be afraid about that, because I think over the 7 months I've been in this, I've had like 1 or 2 people block me.
And who cares?
And who cares? Exactly. Exactly.
Okay, so I know you said conference was a big turning point for you, but is there anything else that helped you kind of just like kind of switch and just get into that momentum, or just any advice for people who didn't go to conference or don't have conference right now to flip that switch for them? Like what advice would you get?
My advice is to stay close to the fire. So we have group chats, we have team pages, we have people that are on fire. I see so many people booming all the time in the chats, and I think at first I got overwhelmed by it, but then eventually I was like, no, I'm going to reframe this. I'm going to allow it to fuel my own fire. And again, the personal development. So if you stay close to the fire and you're constantly focusing on growing your mind and pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone and doing different things, listen to what the leaders are saying, because they're saying it because it works. So stay close to that and just keep pushing. You never know when the next day is going to be like a huge turning point in your business.
Yeah, I love that. So what is your end goal for this month? What are you pushing for?
Emerald. I should say diamond, but I'm shooting for emerald.
Good.
We'll get there.
I just want to let you know that I'm very, very proud of you. I mean, it's just been since conference, like I just keep seeing your name in eSuite up and up. And you should be very proud of yourself. And it boils down to the basics and staying organized, using your time wisely, and having conversations and following up with people.
Yep.
you guys, that's kind of it. It doesn't really like matter what specific wording people are using because it's all different. It's just who's doing it. I know I word vomited on a lot of people when I started, and it didn't matter. I still went diamond in 5 months, and what I was saying to people was a lot, and it still worked. It worked out, and like you refine as you go, and you make mistakes and you learn. So yeah, I look forward to your future promotions. Do you have anything else
Thank
that you want to add?
Just keep pushing. Just keep going. Just keep doing the things. You guys are all amazing human beings. Like, you literally have so much potential in you. You just need to run with it. You are all going to be diamonds, every single one of you. And if you're already a diamond, you're going to be a triple diamond.
I love it. I love it. Oh, thank you so much. I'm so glad that you agreed to do this. And
Thank
let's
you.
move on to Steph.
Uh-oh.
Are you ready?
Hang on.
Oh no!
In here. The baby's like busting the door down.
I'm locked right now. So
You can't be in here. Take him out. Thank you.
you're good. Okay, so number one, start with a little bit about you because I know your life is hectic, crazy, busy, and I don't know how you do it.
50 hours,
You inspire me, and again, very proud of you. And your name is popping up 24/7. She's updating me all the time on how close she is. So give everybody a rundown for those who don't know you.
So I work 50 hours a week at a full-time job. I have 4 kids, planning my wedding and working this business every day. So anybody that says they don't have time or can't do it, that's a lie.
So do you sleep?
I'm
Is the
living-
question. Do you sleep?
Yes, I do sleep.
Okay.
Not very much, but I'm always a night owl anyways. So I'm up till like 12, 1 o'clock, and then I'm up at 5:15. So I have 30 minutes before I have to get the kids up.
Okay. So I know that you joined a couple months after Kelsey did, actually almost to the day of 2 month
October.
difference. So you joined in October of last year, and kind of the same thing happened, like just crazy momentum from January, February to March. I know you started October,
Yeah.
but like it's just been insane. So like comparing numbers from January to February, it was I should have done the math while I wrote it down. My goodness. I'm going to talk about the number gap here. From January to February, 800 in volume with a jump. And the month isn't over and you're up 200 even from that. And we're still not done with March. And I know you're projected to be Ruby at least this month. And you have a complete different life than Kelsey. That Kelsey's doesn't have kids. And just kind of tell me about your schedule and like how you're working all of this into your crazy daily life.
So I get up about 30 minutes before I get the kids up.
Mm-hmm.
So I can make my coffee. I do a video about that, send out some messages and add some people. And then I get them up and get everybody ready, and then I have to take them to daycare, and then I go to work. So while I'm at work, I follow up when I can. Like Kelsey said, pee breaks all day long. Following up with people, messaging them, helping my team. Just even that 5 minutes, you can do a lot. Then I work until 3:15, pick up the kids from daycare, go home and make dinner. Try to follow up with people in between that, but I also set time aside for my kids and family and stuff like that. Then after I get them to bed is a lot of my intentional work time. They're in bed between 8:30, and I'm working until, like I said, 12, 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
In my inbox all the time. That's where we make our money. So messaging, following up. I post on my stories and my page. I try to do it like 3 to 5 times a day throughout the day, morning, afternoon, and at night.
Mm-hmm. And I know we
the
talked about like
product of the
showing your
product
face more
as
in
well.
your videos and stuff. I've been seeing your lives, like you're going live, you're making your stuff and you're putting yourself out there and you're just excited and you're doing it and like
Getting out of my comfort zone. Thank
yes.
you.
Yes. I was like, girl, I need to see your face in that next one. She's like, did you see it? I put my face in it.
Yeah.
No, it's amazing. So when you are sending messages, are you doing the host to post? I know you guys are kind of part of the same team. So are you doing host to post messages as well, or what are you
I do, not every day. A lot of my distributors and customers come from off my page now.
okay.
People responding to my posts, people are replying to my stories without us even having a conversation. I've had people that I have added, like pretty much right after they accepted my friend request, they saw things on my page and reached out to me.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I see that you drink the skinny coffee. Can I have information about it? And ended up ordering. I had distributors I had only had a conversation with for like 90 minutes and they joined. So posting on your page and your stories, being consistent is very important.
I think something that's very huge for the both of you is just the confidence that goes behind the posting and the conversations that you guys are having. Like when you guys are just confident as heck, it doesn't matter what you're doing. Like if nothing that anybody says or does to you like bothers you or changes who you are and like with what you're doing, like you can say what you want, but like I'm over here drinking this skinny brew. I'm so excited. I'm hyped. I don't care who's liking or commenting or what's going on. I'm talking about it like everybody's ordering it, that everybody's excited, that I'm obsessed with it. And you know, when you're in an extended amount of time too, here I am 4.5 years later, I'm still excited about the business. I'm still excited about the products. And so you're eventually going to have people who have watched you for so long come to you and be like, okay, I haven't seen you, you know, miss a step. I need to know about this. So like, you're going to have that come later, but right now it's just like your confidence and your excitement is contagious. Like it is crazy how contagious it is. Walk me through like how long your conversations are with people from like when it starts to when they sign up. Cause I feel like yours happen very fast.
They have been pretty fast lately. Not so much in the beginning, but like Kelsey said, people are watching you. They're nosy. They're going to watch and see what you're doing. And that makes a huge difference, you know, and just me following up with people, even from the beginning, the conversation might have fell off and started messaging them and then right away they're ordering. Sometimes like Kelsey said, 5-6 times you follow up with them. I mean, if you go to the store and you see a TV that you want to buy, do you really buy it the first time you see it? No.
Nope.
Or the second or third. So just being consistent, I have to say, is like huge. You know, make sure you're always posting so people can see that.
Good. Now, what were your actual enrollments for January, February, and March? Did you write those down?
January, I had 1 distributor and 2 loyal customers.
Okay.
February, I had 4 distributors and 14 loyal customers.
Dang.
And this month so far, I've had 8 distributors and 6 loyal customers.
That is insane. It's just this snowball effect, you guys. It just happens. And what's going to happen now, she's going to be announcing all these people joining her team and other people are going to be seeing it and they're going to want to be a part of it. And like, that's just going to help for future people seeing the momentum that she is having. And when you share that and stuff. So what do you think has been working really well for you? Are you saying something specific? And also, are you writing people down like crazy, like Kelsey is, like at least making sure you're getting everybody down so you can follow up with them? What is your organization system like?
Yeah, I do write everybody down that I talk to, any conversation I have. And like Jade and other people have said, you know, everybody you talk to, they're going to do something for you. They're going to either be a distributor, they're going to be a loyal customer, they're going to do a host of posts for you, or they're going to buy a sample.
Yeah.
That's my goal with anybody I talk to.
I love that. Yeah. It was like LCDT or connector, which is like what host to post is. I think Sarah, Rob like had used that word. Speaking of, I forgot about the samples. Kelsey, you can type it in. Have you sold any samples yet? The sample, like,
I sold 2 so far.
oh, okay. Put yours in there.
That's not a huge thing that, to be honest, that I've really been pushing. I've just had people message and want to order the coffee because they see it every day.
Yeah, I know that for me, the day that
Coffee about that I see
yeah,
every day on the page.
the day I focused on like samples, I like showed that I had all these spots available, and then throughout the day I updated that spots were claimed. You guys, not a single spot was claimed yet, but like I kept it popping up in people's timelines that things were happening. And then one girl messaged me, she's like, hey, I'd love to try a sample. And I'm like, perfect, it's $15, you know, just Venmo me and give me this information. And she just Venmoed me, and I'm like, what happened? It was the day like I focused on the samples, you know, I made $6 or whatever. I didn't even have a credit yet. Like I wasn't going to buy a credit until I had somebody who was ready to go. And
Right.
so I bought it, and then I sent it to her, and she got it, and she's excited. But it's a way. I know Tiffany Hines on here, she was selling samples. Yes. Paid for your gas. It's quick cash. It goes straight to your Venmo, and you're like, heck freaking yeah. So like what you guys focus on is what you're going to attract, and it's what you're going to sign. Instead of worrying about like the nitty gritty stuff of how to edit your pictures or how to make this like over template slide for myself. You guys, we have a stories thread, and there are plenty of people that you can snatch them from. I mean, that's literally the point. So don't spend too much time there if like it just doesn't come naturally to you. A lot of these people who are signing lots of enrollments every day. And like, if you think this coronavirus stuff is going to affect you and people buying, then it's going to affect you. People are going to stop buying. If you just continue on your huge path and like, I mean, you're going to talk to the right people and they're going to sign. So like, if you think it's going to affect you and you're worried about it, then it is. And if you're not, you know, they're continuing on their path. They're doing what they can. I think both of them are like now home all day from what's happening with this virus right now. So that is a schedule shift and change. And some of us get to spend more time working than others do. Now I don't have this like 3-block and 3-block period of not having kids. I actually have like 2 more kids. I just got rid of the dog. We were dog sitting, but it's been a shift, and now I have to actually teach my children because I don't think they're going to school. But anyways, it's beside the point. So we just do the best with what we have. There are going to be life shifts happen. This might be your schedule right now. It could shift in a month and be something completely different, but just continue to do the best with what you have. Use those pee breaks, you know, use that intentional time when you have it. Like she said, Kelsey said, sometimes she jams out in the car, but it's like rare, like, and that's me. Like if I need to get into a certain mood, I need to jam out for a little bit, but usually driving, I can't do much work other than if I go live and do like a training, like talk to the team or listen to something. That's about all I can do while I'm driving to be safe. So just make sure you guys are using your time wisely and doing what you can. Now, Stephanie, do you do any personal development regularly at all? No, she's like, no, I ain't got time. I need this flow.
To be honest, I don't know. I use every second I have to be in my inbox and posting and following up, messaging.
I love that.
I do once in a while, but I don't every day.
Yeah, and you'll eventually get to a point where it becomes more of a priority in order to grow more as a person and a leader in this business to better help your team. Like you'll have more like growth. I mean, we're always growing, we're always changing. So I love that you guys are just kind of 2 completely different people, and your names are like what I'm seeing all the time, and you guys are newish and you're promoting, and that's exciting. And so you guys, what matters and how we make our money and how we promote is we enroll loyal customers and we enroll distributors. Okay, does anybody have any questions for these 2 ladies? And while they're typing it up, Stephanie, is there anything like any kind of advice that you want to give people? And what was it that kind of clicked for you? Because I think I looked and there wasn't much of a change from October, November, December, but like January, February, March, it's been crazy. So what was it for you that really just kind of helped you take off?
Just doing all the things every day. Keep messaging, keep posting, keep following up. People, like I said, people watch you. So once they watched me for those first few months when I first started, then it was just like, boom, everyone was like, hey, I've been seeing you post about this coffee or talk about this, excited about this business working from home. Can you give me more information?
Yeah.
So just nothing's impossible. Write your dreams down, your goals down, where you want to be. Stay positive. People are going to say no. Not everybody is supportive, but don't feed into the negativity, because then that's all you're going to get back.
Yeah.
Don't screenshot conversations of people being negative, or, they send it to you, just don't even talk to them. If they do, you can block them. Keep moving. The sky's the limit. Anyone can do it.
I had somebody in my posted about the virus, and I called it dumb because it's like, ugh. I know it's a real thing, whatever. Anyways, I just minded my own business, and I had a message from somebody. I don't even know who she is. We're not even friends. And she's like, listen, I love following your page. And like, I don't know if you think you're some kind of professional or what. Number one, I went to school for biomedical sciences, and I have a chemistry minor. So I do know a little bit about science and like how these things work. And I've created a vaccine in the lab. I'm just backing myself up here. But I didn't have to go into it and tell her that. But she was like, I'd really appreciate it if you'd remove it from your page, or like watch what you say from now on, because there are a lot of people that follow you. I didn't even put any energy into it. I just went block and delete it. I just pretended like it didn't even exist. Like you guys can do that. And I've had people who kind of like knew or trying to get into it, and they'll be like, this is the only response that I'm getting. Like, I'm getting this all the time. I'm like, I've never gotten that ever. Like, not that kind of negativity or whatever, like the common responses. I was like, I've never had that. So like, I've been doing this X amount of time, and I've never had that. So I need to know what you're saying. You need to switch how you're feeling, how you're thinking, what you're expecting, because manifesting and just how you're vibing has a lot to do with that too. So like she said, the negativity, just like block it out. Don't let things affect you. And the biggest thing I want to stress before we get off here, I don't see any questions right now, is a lot of people get discouraged, or I don't like using the word discouraged, but that's what it is, when they don't see the results right away, or like, lack thereof, like no results at all. Like this work that they think that they're putting in, either it's just not enough time or it's not enough. And they're like, I'm doing all these things, X, Y, and Z, and nobody is signing up. You guys, you can't control who responds, how they respond, or when they respond. And that's what a lot of people are getting caught up with, are with things that we can't control. Like this was just such the biggest aha moment for me with a couple of things. It's like, you can control if you're putting your stories up. You can control if you're following up with people, if you're getting new messages out, if you're adding new people, if you're writing everybody down, if you're doing your personal development, if you're jumping on your trainings and trying to constantly learn. You can control that. At the end of the day, if you've done everything that you've needed to do and you can go to bed and feel good about your business, that is what matters. You don't get to pick when things happen, how they respond, or whatever it is. Things are lining up for you. Things will happen for you the way that they're supposed to. Keep on that path. Stephanie said it, just like over time, people were watching and they finally sprouted. For me, I worked the same October, November, December, January, and February, and I went from 7 loyal customers to 8 loyal customers to 19 loyal customers to 16 loyal customers, 16 loyal customers. I had that huge hump those last couple of months because of all the work that was happening in October, November. I guess that is a lot for people, but for me, I didn't know any better. And I doubled that number in December, and I didn't change anything. It was just that consistency and that time and things just happening. And I did what I was supposed to do. I had X amount of messages I was going to send. I was going to add this amount of people, and I was posting 12 times a day. It was insane back then, and I was doing it then. So don't get caught up in all that stuff. Like tap, have a shower session, like rinse off that juju, like let go of like what people are saying or not saying, or, when they sign up, just do your best and do you and get your stuff done. And, things are going to line up for you. So, okay. This was an hour, so I'm excited because I kept it in a good window. And I know we have things going on, and everybody's crazy. So number one, everybody stay safe, stay healthy, stay clean, wash your hands, keep doing you. I love you guys so much. I'm super proud of, number one, this entire team. You two specifically, I see you guys all the time. And a lot of that too comes from like the great immediate leadership that you guys have. directly above you. So it's just trickling down, and it shows. And just, I look forward to your diamond promotions and getting you guys into Jade's page. Yay. Okay. All right. I love you guys, and I will get this recording up. Bye.